Welcome, friends. Hello, all my good friends who have already shown up, already popped in. I do appreciate you. Great to see you all. Thank you for being here. Got some good friends right here from the get go. Of course, the great Eric K. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, my friend, as always. Thank you for popping in, bro. I know you're a busy man. The great Chris Persia, two of the greatest wrenches ever. Thank you both for being here. Lord Thoth, my good friend, Avon lives, and long live the Legion. Always a pleasure, my friend. Good to see you. Maddie's daddy, what's up? Hey, buddy. Thanks for being here, brother. Your Muslim uncle. And hey, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. A name I always enjoy, Phantom Outsider. Cool name. And of course, probably my favorite name of all of them, the great Dr. Hercumonkey. Hey, buddy. I appreciate you being here, my friend. And my bud, Alex James. Hello, hello, hello there, Alex. Hey, man, great to see you. I got to scroll back a little bit, see if I'd missed anyone. Let's see here. Don't want to miss anybody. I'm very pleased to see you all rolling in tonight. The great Mark D with a C. Hey, buddy. Good friend of the show. We appreciate you, man. Always great to see you. Cuz, Dave Rayburn. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, cousin. Yes, I miss the old Clobberin Times theme music too, man. I miss it big time, man. So what can you do? Can't have it here. They won't let you have it on YouTube, or you get struck for it, or whatever they do. Copyright strike or what have you. So I can't do it, man, but I wish I could. I do miss it. One day I'll have to just cheat and do it anyway. It's good to see you, bro. I appreciate you, man. And anyone else who trickles in, we will say hello to him, because this is just basically kind of like my old BTR days. I was almost so burned out. I almost didn't do a show tonight, but I scheduled it, and this is what I should do. I got to do it, and it'll pick up. Whatever. It's I want to thank you all though for you were all my friends. I'm gonna tell you what. Monday night in our tribute to our great friend, the great Mark C. And then last night with the Loki's roundtable, which I was, fortunate enough to host here, with also paying tribute to our great friend Mark C. They were both spectacular, and all because of you all. I didn't do a damn thing. You all did it all, and Mark's wonderful family members both nights, but even some more the second night, I think, were here, and you were all just spectacular. You were terrific to them, and they will never forget it. And I think they were really touched by the outpouring all of you showed them, the compassion you all showed them, and they saw what a great gang of people that have grown to be friendly with in some cases, love and respect in other cases, who got to know them a little bit. That really were touched by Mark C. So, and you were all just spectacular. Again, you did it all, and I think they really appreciated that. So, thank you all for how you have how you've been supportive. Monday and Monday night and Tuesday night. I will never forget you for it. I appreciate you. I mean, we have so much fun here whenever you guys are here. Raquel and I just have so much fun. For example, when we're doing the Saturday night streams, it's a blast. You guys give us so much fun when I'm here. Captain Trek, welcome, amigo. Good to see you. You guys, give us so much fun when we're here having fun. But when it came to, to kind of do something a little more serious and, closer to home in a sense, you all came through. So big thanks to you all. And well, thank you, Mark. Deal with the sea. It was touching for me too. And we're gonna, we're gonna get on with things, but you're never gonna forget our old buddy. And I did catch a glimpse earlier about something going on. Your Muslim uncle, something with your mom. Big shout out to you for your mom, and I hope she feels better, man. Good luck with that, bro, because I know how that feels, buddy. The beautiful and wonderful and magnificent friend of mine whom I just adore, Purple Valkyrie. Thank you for popping in, Purple. It is so great to see you as always. I hope we get a chance to talk soon. Anytime you want, you let me know, because I would love to have you on the talk. The usual show notes. Tomorrow, the Global Geek Gang, I suppose, will assemble. Global Geeks assemble. Thank you. Thanks, David. Appreciate that, cuz. The Global Geeks will assemble at our usual 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for some geek shenanigans, but we do. That's what we do. And, of course, Saturday night, the wonderful Raquel Briggs and I will be back with 4 more Star Trek episodes for our Star Trek review of all of real Star Trek, meaning real Star Trek, 1966 through 2005. So, and we just have so much fun doing that, again, because of you all. And yes, so we will continue that. And then next Monday night, the show I'd originally planned for Monday night, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That will be the show. That will be I'll name it after our great pal Mark C. The Mark C. The Clobberin Times Mark C. comic book / comic strip artist or creator Hall of Fame. Finally, going to just go ahead and do it. I mean, no one really cares about that much. I guess there probably aren't many people interested in that topic, in that subject matter, but I've always wanted to do it. So, any fans of comic book history or whatever, and again, believe me, I'll understand if it's not your bag and nothing that would interest everybody. I do understand that, but you know, we're primarily comic books. Well, we love Star Trek too. You know, Star Trek and Doctor Who and other things, and Babylon 5 and Blake 7 and other many other imaginative media type of things there, of course. But we're, you know, Clobberin Times. So we got, you know, the Monday night comic show, and now I'm called Monday Night Mark C. I figured not a lot of people are really into that sort of thing. I know, but I've always wanted to do that one. And so Monday night, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Of course, like many Hall of Fames, you know, there's a very complicated vetting process that goes for the inductees. In this case, I'm the only voter. And the first 10, we'll do it every few months. The first 10, of course, will be the Pantheon of 10, the very first inductees into the comic strip Hall of Fame. Or I should say the Clobberin Times Mark C. comic strip creator Hall of Fame. So, you know, again, I hope I can make it fun for everybody. I'll try. And maybe if someone wants to sit in with me, and I'll see if someone, but I'll try, but you know, can't promise anything, but I know I'll be having fun. I may be the audience of one for that. I don't know, but I've been wanting to do that for a while, you know, and yeah. Oh, absolutely. By the way, I forgot to put, there is, of course, a link in my description below for many links for many other channels of so many wonderful friends of mine. And of course, one of my most special friends, the wonderful Purple Valkyrie, has a great channel called Rise and Shine with the Valkyries. Please, if you have not already, please go to that channel, subscribe, and support that channel, because it is wonderful. You got beautiful ladies talking geek stuff. I mean, if you can't get, what more do you want? You can't get anything better than that. And oh well, of course, Phantom Outsider. Don't worry about that one, bro. You nailed it. Hey, Purple. It'll be fun for me anyway, but I can't guarantee anyone else's fun on that one. I'll try to guarantee everyone else's fun on most of them, but that one we're going to have to find out. But I love it. But anyway, and of course, everyone knows that, or everyone, I'm sure everyone knows, or probably knows that, of course, there's a huge live stream going on right now, which is a charity live stream and auction, I believe, on Mr. Uche's channel. Uche, who is, of course, of Geeks and Gamers. It's the Zack Snyder, I think, I forget the exact name of the charity, Foundation for the Suicide Prevention. It's a beautiful cause. I was over there a little while earlier. A lot of people are over there, thousands of people there. I believe Zack Snyder himself is going to be on there at some point, I think, raising money for a wonderful cause. And I don't have a link to it. I forgot to put a link in my description earlier. If anyone can help me get that link, you know, I'm looking at you, Eric, because you're the man with links. Or Chris, either one of you guys. They got a stream going on now, and hey, well, wouldn't hurt my feelings if you went over there and streamed and watched theirs, because I mean, those guys, they got a fantastic panel. Some of my favorite YouTubers and some great people, and of course, it's a fantastic cause. So hey, I wouldn't blame you at all. And if you can go there, if you're able to, you know, there's a donation thing right there. And it's for a fantastic cause. Of course, these people who arranged this, of course, are the ones behind the Snyder Cut movement. You all know I'm the biggest Snyderverse hater there is, but I don't hate that charity. I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I love what he is doing. It is important, and it's special. And well, Captain Trek, I believe, sir. Again, yes. Look, there are a lot of channels down there in my description below, by the way. I don't know. If you don't see one in there, just, I'll definitely shout it out. Captain Trek, my friend who has been on here with me before, has a channel. Please go check his out. You can just, I think you could just search for Captain Trek. Anyway, but that's a wonderful cause. Oh, well, there you go. Well, Eric K., thank you for that. Sure, anytime, man. Anytime, Captain Trek. No problem, buddy. And yes, again, fantastic cause. If you have not already, please go check it out, or at least check out the cause. You can go to I think you can go to the website. Oh, there we go. I don't want, you guys, man, you guys are just, they're always there for me. Chris Persia and Eric K., you guys are the best, man. You and Purple, you're always there for me. I just love you. You're the best. But yes, it's a fantastic charity. They got the stream going on right now, of course. For those who are interested in it, or, the cut itself, the Snyder Cut actually drops at, well, depending upon where you are in the world. On the West Coast, it's 12:01 on HBO Max. To my understanding, it's just for HBO Max subscribers. Is that right? I mean, in other words, you don't have to pay anything more. I don't know how that works. Maybe someone could tell me, because I'm not really up on that sort of thing. But I do know that it drops at 12:01 on the West Coast, which means my time it would be 2:01. And our friends on the East Coast, of course, will be 3:01. And I know a lot of people are going to be staying up to watch it. And I will watch it. Even I will watch it. You don't know how much I can't stand the. Well, I know it's HBO Max only. I'm just wondering if it's extra, or if you have a subscription, you can get it. If you have a normal subscription, or they charge extra, I just don't know that, Lord Belt. I haven't looked really into it. But wow, Purple 7:02 GMT for them. Is that Purple? That's in the morning, I guess. I don't know what GMT means. I guess that's morning though for you, right? I'm not sure. I'm ignorant of. I know CST here for us is Central Standard Time. So, what does GMT? What does GMT mean? I've always wondered that. Four hours. Yeah. But yes, it is. That stream is, of course, has a great panel talking about that. I'll just definitely raising money for a wonderful Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, I did not know that. There you go. Well, thanks. So yes, that is. I guess it's for ordinary. Is it for ordinary HBO Max subscribers, or do you pay something more? I don't even know. I don't even know if it's playing in very many theaters. Well, I appreciate that. If I knew that it was Greenwich Mean Time, I'd forgotten at some point. So, but anyway, yes. So that's a fantastic cause, and hats off to Zack Snyder and and all those guys for doing that. The people who worked to get the Snyder Cut made. Doesn't matter what I want. Doesn't matter what I like, because I hate it. I don't like his movies. I actually don't like his DC movies. As a gigantic Watchmen fan of the comic, I had a lot of problems with his Watchmen movie, but I do like it in some ways. So yeah. Fan of Outsider. Yeah, get out of here, man. Was it? No idea why it's always so mean. It needs to have a Snickers. So that's pretty big going on right now in terms of the geek stuff. That's all anyone's really talking about, I guess, other than some of the shenanigans at Marvel Comics is and I'm not going to go into it. You all know about the what they're doing with their new Captain America right now. I do know that this is the 80th anniversary of Captain America. Yes, I'm not with you on that, Lord Thoth. He to me, in Man of Steel and BABS, I can't do that because he defiled the character's ideals and they're also just absolutely patently terrible movies, in my opinion. Can't do it. And I can't, character bastardization means something to me when it comes to my favorite superhero. So, brother, I mean, I'm that way on some stuff, but I can't just turn it off. I can't turn off the defilement of Superman's ideals. I just don't do it. But if you can, hey, I've been fighting that fight, a losing fight. I've learned just over the past year that it's a losing fight. I'm not going to change my opinion on it. let's see. You're just trying to get me to do this. Lord Thoth, you don't think I'm on to you, dude? You're just trying to get me to do this. And you know it, man. Dude, I know you. Oh, man. But seriously. Yeah, just having a little fun here because that's what we're here for. Yeah, you can't sucker me in like that, man. Well, actually, you did. It worked, didn't it? Oops. I take it back, Lord Thoth. You did it, man. You got me. Oh yeah. Well, Az donated 1,000 pounds. There you go. Well, Az is a great dude. Well, Lord Thoth, if you hate Man of Steel, why do you keep spelling it wrong? It's Man of Stool, buddy. But anyway, again, look, even I don't want to beat up on Zack Snyder tonight because he's doing something really wonderful, for all these people, for this wonderful cause. I mean, and a lot of people who don't agree with my fat old ass like that thing. They like his movies. So, they're getting what they want. A lot of people, congrats to those who fought to get it made. I can be not thrilled about it on a personal level and still congratulate people who get something that they want. Just because I don't want it, it's not all about me. They don't look. I aged beyond the target demo long ago. I've always said that. So these studios and whether it's Marvel Comics, DC Comics, or any of the studios, they're not. If I give them money, they'll take it. But they're not really interested in what I think about anything, and that they haven't been. I've been aged beyond the target demo for decades, so they don't really care what I think one way or the other, and I understand that. I actually do understand it on a certain level. So when they do something to one of these characters, I'm guilty of getting really far more upset about it than I should, especially back in 2011, leading up to 2013 when Man of Steel came out. And I got in a lot of all the fights I got in with so many people. Looking back, it's silly now. So I've decided, look, and I like Henry Cavill, by the way. Someone saying they like Cavill. Look, nothing wrong with Henry Cavill. I think he's a great actor. I mean, he's just too likable. I mean, just a cool dude. And I would, in a Superman film with the right writing, the correct writing, I would be as excited to have him cast as anything. We're probably never going to get that. So I've decided, I'm going to watch this thing, even with my bias. And, you don't have to believe me. I wouldn't believe me, I guess, if I didn't know me. Even with my bias, I will try to be honest. And I'm admitting the bias. If there's anything good to say about the Snyder Cut, even from the biggest, Snyderverse hater there is, or DCU hater there is, whatever you call it. If there's something good to say about it, if there's a lot good to say about it, I will do so. I want to watch it with as close to a fair eye as I can, given water under the bridge. Eastland Burkholder, welcome. Absolutely. And Lord Doss says, I donated as well as a veteran and police officer. I personally witnessed suicide. Friends, oh man, served with next of kin, yes. Oh man, well, I couldn't do much, but I did what I could as well, Lord Doth, because I love the cause. It's fantastic, and a lot of people realize they've raised over 40-something thousand. Last I checked, I'm sure they're way over that now. And that's just in tonight's stream, mind you. So, yeah, I mean it's beautiful, it really is. And thank you, Lord Doth, for that, man. Everything you do, bro. Appreciate you. And you gotta let me know when you can join us again, Lord Doth. Anytime you want to come pop on. But yes. So. Oh my goodness, Purple! Really? Wow, 62. But when I was in there, just popped in the stream earlier and watching, seeing a lot of familiar names donating. They were like not even to 40 something yet, and I saw someone mention 40. Now 62. Oh wow. Wow. So, yeah, fandom outsider. You can't argue with that, dude. Yeah, I mean, no. So, Anyway, like I said, I will watch it. 4 hours. I guess if it's something I was really excited about and I couldn't wait, wanted to watch, and was pumped up about it, then 4 hours would be, oh, give me 5. I'm one. I can relate because I'd be going, hey, give me 6 hours. I'll sit there 6 hours if it's superheroes that I love. My problem is I'm going into this. I hate his take on it unless this thing is going to be somehow miraculously not the dark, grim and gritty, gray, sepia-toned, downer, nihilistic, joyless crap that Man of Steel and BVS is. Unless it's going to be a drastic departure from that, I just being realistic, I don't see me having a whole good time with it. When it comes to superheroes, I want to have a good time. I don't consider his work deep at all. I consider it completely the opposite. It's called GEEK. I consider his Man of Steel and BVS very shallow, very hollow. But some call it deep. I don't, just because something's grim and gritty and dark, and and what they consider to be, I hate the term, but realistic, doesn't make it so. The banality of evil and all that, and turning Superman into what they did. And I'm not gonna go, but you know what? This is their day, so I'm gonna stop. I just wanted to give you a basic outline of why I hate it. They compromised Superman's ideals. He didn't act like Superman. He was mopey man, and I don't like it. But I'm gonna watch it as I'm gonna see if it still has that stuff in it. Then I won't really be having a very good time. I can just tell you that, and I will say so. But if it is entertaining, and they actually, because we all, if you saw Justice League, as they like to call it. Even if you take away the things that Snyder fans hated that Joss Whedon did, it just that, and maybe it's because of what Whedon did. That movie had no story. It had no villain. Steppenwolf, by the way, and this is still going to have Steppenwolf in it probably. That Steppenwolf was nothing like that in the comics. I don't know what they were thinking, but then again, you don't get any dark side. This. I'm wondering if it's going to be 3 seconds of dark side or whatever, but you needed a charismatic villain. You can say what you want if you don't like the Marvel films, but they had more than their fair share of mistakes with their villains. But they did have some really good villains as well. I mean, especially in Infinity War, Thanos was really well acted, well written. Thanos was a great villain. Tom Hiddleston was a great villain. Hugo Weaving was terrific as the Red Skull. So in the MCU, they had maybe more hits and misses with their villains. A lot of people don't like Age of Ultron. I liked it a lot. It had its faults, but James Spader, again, not the Ultron I would have written. I don't like this crap about Tony Stark creating Ultron. I did not like that at all. But, I'll tell you one thing that this really kind of puzzles me of late, that I've been hearing this over the past few years, and it could be a youth thing, but again, I've always loved both sets of heroes, Marvel and DC. Like I said, my gateway drug was Adam West and such like that. So before I ever read a comic book, I just loved superheroes and did not distinguish between companies. But lately, you've heard over the past 10, 15 years. People say, well, it's okay for those Marvel movies to be light and fluffy and fun, but that's just not DC. Well, somehow DC should be darker and whatever. Do you really know anything about the true history of comic books? Because it's true, DC's had their dark stuff. Marvel did dark stuff and more down-to-earth stuff than before DC ever did. I mean, do you know anything about comic history when you say that? Even some of them who, like, for example, a lot of your Snyder fans will say stuff like, oh, it's fine for Marvel to be kind of the more light and fluffy thing, but DC should be far more serious. Well, the same writers and creators bounced back and forth between companies. The characters have, the characters have some differences here and there, but Marvel was the first one with, Kirby and Ditko and Lee to introduce some of your more nuanced and fleshed out characterizations of superheroes. So I despise using the term quote realistic, but Marvel was the first one to make their heroes more human, more I hate this term too, but sorry, relatable, if you will. Marvel did that way before DC did. DC jumped, because by the time Marvel rolled out, I have a lot of problems with a lot of the villains in the MCU as well. I'm just saying there were some good ones, Lord Thoth. Not, they could have been way better. But anyway, when Marvel rolled out with the Kirby and, Lee Renaissance, when they went from Atlas to being Marvel and they saved the company with all these characters, with the Fantastic Four, with Spider-Man and the Hulk and the Avengers and Iron Man, Thor, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, of course. Those characters brought in plausible work. Visibility is another one. Characters with far more character depth, and even though they were superheroes, basically written for younger audiences, kids, children. Let's face it, that's what they all were written for. Younger, especially young boys. That's just what they were created for and written for. Marvel started that before DC did. DC really did not start trying to get into the heavy, if you will, until O'Neill and Adams, sort of with their Batman and definitely with their hard-traveling heroes, Green Lantern, Green Arrow series, which I thought, looking back, some of the writing was pompous, but I mean, as far as trying to add more layers of depth to their characters. So Marvel started it, and if you know anything about comic book history, DC do, or Marvel do, they ripped each other off forever. So all these people saying things like, well, the DC heroes are more, they lend themselves more to the darker stuff. I'm sorry, even though there was some Elseworld stuff sort of that had the occasional dalliance and a little bit of a darkness. And yes, when they start, they had Watchmen, they had Dark Knight Returns, and they did some dark things here and there, Sandman and their Vertigo line and stuff like that. As far as the main heroes, remember, Marvel started their Ultimates and created a whole line of dark characters. But today you hear a lot of people, even people I think that are knowledgeable about comics, I'm not knocking them, who in defense of some of the stuff with the Snyderverse, they say, well, it's fine for Marvel to have the kind of the jokey, quippy heroes and stuff like that. But DC was never like that. They were never. Have you read a DC comic that came out before 2005, maybe 2005 or whatever? What's up, Mando? DC, characters had their quippy times. Took again, writers. Most of the writers who worked over the course for Marvel and DC throughout the years, bounced back and forth between companies. But for the most part, post 1980 DC, there were some dark overtones in characters in comics. Before that, it was more hopeful. Yeah, but even DC, like I said, DC did usher in some of the darker stuff, but they certainly didn't start it, and they didn't, and they certainly kind of, in fact, they actually did bring in some of the trends for that, but it was done before that. But DC had just as much, Ambush Bug, there you go, had a bunch of lighthearted stuff too, because a lot of the same writers bounce back and forth between the two. So I never view the characters of the sets of characters between Marvel and DC as all that different. Really, a lot of it's open to interpretation. And in other words, you can do a deeper, if you want to call it that. Well, for example, MCU did kind of stay away from that a little. No question about it. They didn't get all that deep and dark. I mean, although, Winter Soldier sort of went there. And to me, that and I love that. I mean, that's maybe truly the most well-written superhero movie of all time, I think, probably. Or certainly one of them would be Winter Soldier. And that's as close as it gets to scraping reality and dealing with reality as I think a superhero film can get without going off the deep end, being too dark. I thought it was a perfect balance. It has the grim and the gritty, but it has the heroics there. When you take the heroics out, there's the thing. And here's the thing about Superman. People say, well, you just don't want to see dark Superman. That's not exact. You can take Superman into dark areas and do dark stories and even have him, stray from the path once in a while. Darkening the character completely is the problem. And having him act against his ideals is the problem, unless you're talking about an Elseworld story, which is another matter, another kettle of fish altogether. Legion of Superheroes had a few dark stories. Yeah, there were all kinds of all of them had dark stories. No, I think you're just saying, I don't know if you're interpreting me as saying that was not the case, Lord Thoth. I don't think you are, but I'm not saying that. Dark stories are fine. And, and I've talked about this with Raquel when we're talking about Star Trek on Saturday nights. Even Star Trek, which, as you know, many times would end with the characters kind of laughing it up a little bit. But there were some really dark and somber endings to Star Trek episodes. Charlie X, Sitting on the Edge of Forever, Private Little War, which we're doing this week, and so on. It's when everything has to be a downer is what a problem. Yeah, no, I hear you, Lord Thoth. Oops, I got pinged. Well, sorry. I hear you, Lord Thoth. I wasn't sure, man. But yeah, but you're right. I'm just saying, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not that I'm against the dark story. I'm against completely dragging the characters down into the sewer, which was what Snyder and Goyer did to did to Superman, Mopey Man, and really with Batman being a psycho murdering nut job in BVS. I mean, that's not what I want. And I don't disagree with you there, Chris Persia. And that's fair enough. And I love some Elseworld stories. You can go as grim and gritty as you want with the Elseworlds. And if it's a good story, I'm fine with it. I love Watchmen, for example. And I'm glad it wasn't the Charlton characters. I think that was a smarter move, creating ciphers of those characters. But when you're talking about on the big screen, in comic books, and I've heard someone recently say that they think Superman's better suited to movies than comics. I could not disagree with that more. Someone who I love to death, and I love him. He's way better at this than I am in terms of bigger audience and stuff. I disagree with that fundamentally. I think when Superman's on the big screen to the general public, I would rather see him play nice a little bit. I'm not saying it has to be completely sanitized. Although look at the '78 film, the best of them all. And you could take a small child to see the Superman '78 film, Superman the movie. You could take, and again, I just think it's a crime. I had a buddy of mine. Well, we talk about our good buddy, the great Mark C, who we continue to remember. And I remember bumping him right after Man of Steel was still in the theater, I believe, at the comic shop. He had a very young child then. And I remember him telling me, he said, I had to go see it before I took my kid to see it. Because he was a Superman fan, stuff like that. And from the times we talked about that movie, he didn't like it. He didn't like Snyder's take either. But he said, the thing is, I could, my kid's young. I could not bring him to see it. No way I was going to bring him to see that. I can't watch it till he's older. And, yes, it's pathetic when they make a movie that's ostensibly Superman. By the way, they only said his name in Man of Steel twice. It's ostensibly supposed to be Superman, and you can't bring young children to see it. Again, I'm the old fogey for that. I get made fun of for that by a lot of the Snyder people. And you know what? I'm sorry. Superman should be for everyone. Again, that doesn't mean you can't do Elseworlds comic books that are sold to adult readers or older readers. I have no problem with that at all. I even liked a few. Yeah, I'm with you there. And there's nothing hopeful about Snyder's vision of these characters. Oh yeah, I mean, look, characters died all the time in comic books. No one's saying the comics couldn't have been dark. So that's why fundamentally disagree with hey, that's true, Parrothead. I'm a geezer, man. I admit it. Parrothead's here. Hey man, well, good to see you, sir. So that's just me. That's just a little bit of an explanation without going too far down the rabbit hole of why I despise that. It's not the Nolan, the Snyder primarily, Snyder, Nolan, Goyer, whomever take on the DC heroes. And for the longest time, look, Man of Steel, let's be honest, it made a little money, but it was not a smash. That's why we got They rushed it instead of doing a number 2. Boy, would it ever have been a number 2? A sequel, sorry. I couldn't resist. A sequel, Man of Steel 2. Instead of doing that, that's why they rushed us with the Batman v Superman. And because, and that one barely got over the hump of where it needed to go. In fact, didn't make what it should have. I've said it a long time. Theoretically speaking, you should be able to make a movie with Batman and Superman in it. Well, ostensibly Batman and Superman. And trip over $1 billion. Play a movie with Batman and Superman playing tiddlywinks for 2 hours should make over $1 billion. You would, in theory. But, it made over its billion mark, but it took a long time. Actually, I don't think it got over to the billion mark. I can't remember. It didn't. It underperformed, and then Civil War came out a couple weeks later and destroyed it. Now, people like to blame, critics for being mean to BVS and all this kind of stuff. Maybe they just weren't it wasn't all that appealing to them. Could it be that? Could it be the film and not the, critics are crappy to things sometimes. And people genuinely, I got a lot of problems with Civil War after I watched it a few times. The fact is, it was very successful right off the bat. And no critic did that. Audiences were well disposed toward it, and they wanted to go to the movie and have fun. They didn't want to see Superman ostensibly flying around in the few scenes he goes and rescues some people in BVS and moping around like it was ugly. Just me. Lord Thaw, thanks for being here, bro, man. I always appreciate you, buddy. Avon lives, and long live the Legion, my friend. Phantom Outsider knows his Legion stuff, by the way. Not only that, man, that you talk about, again, dark things work even in bright stories. Dark things work even in, upbeat stories. And you have a good balance as long as you're not bumming people out too much. It works. For example, Mon-El, if you think about it, that's pretty dark what happened to him, Phantom Outsider. This is a guy who, remember when he first ends up on Earth and, he loses his memory and Superboy thinks he's his long lost brother from Krypton. We find out later he's from Daxam and he's dying of lead poisoning, and he has to put him in the Phantom Zone until he can find a cure, and he ends up being in the Phantom Zone for 1,000 years. Oh, there you go. You put it right when I was saying it. 1,000 years in the Phantom Zone, and yet he stayed a hero. Right. Dark stuff. Pharaoh Lad's death, dark but heroic. But still, again, it's dark, but it's heroic because he survived horrible darkness. Just like, my favorite character, Ben J. Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Usually in comic book fiction and things like that, if a person gets superpowers, for example, some of them decide to do, depending upon their personality and their psychological makeup, they either become a hero and use it to help people. Some of them just decide to be a villain and do things for their own ends. Obviously, and that therein lies your drama. But usually in those universes, when a person becomes a monster, quote unquote, a rock monster in this case, usually when it becomes sort of monster, they become a villain and they become nasty and they act like a monster. In those early issues of the Fantastic Four, which is, what sold Marvel, really, which saved Marvel. Well, and formed Marvel, even in fact, saved Atlas. Ben Grimm in his rocky, lumpy thing form. Thank you. I appreciate that, cuz I am Ben Grimm. I am the ever-loving brown-eyed thing. But he's the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Aunt Petunia's favorite nephew. In those early issues of Fantastic Four, he was scary. He walked that precipice. He wasn't all that heroic at first. He was absolutely very bitter, very angry about what he could blame Reed Richards for turning him into a monster. This is a guy that had it all. Well-off, handsome dude who was the big man on campus, a big war hero, and a big test pilot. And now he's a big pile of lumpy orange rocks. It's a wonderful hero story. Then he developed into one of the most heroic and most respected heroes in the Marvel Universe. it was far more nuanced to the characterizations of any of those early Marvel characters than DC had. And I love the DC characters. I do. DC wasn't doing that. They started seeing that Marvel was having success with older readers for that, and they started to try to follow suit a little bit. So people who say that the DC characters are just more serious than the Marvel character, you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't make it, but they say it. I hear younger people say that sometimes. Like, you really need to learn a little comic book history because it's not entirely accurate. At different times, yes, there are darker things from both companies, but it doesn't work that way. 66K, fantastic, everyone. Whoever's up, that's just what a great charity. What a great cause it is. Zack Snyder and those people over there raising money for suicide prevention awareness. That is fantastic. And Uche and all those Geeks and Gamers people, and Gary with Nerdrotic, and I think Star Wars Theories over there, and I heard Az gave a lot, and a whole bunch of other fantastic YouTubers that I'm a big fan of. All of them, I love those guys. They're fantastic. All of them are just doing some wonderful work with this charity right now. So, and I love it. And and all I'm doing here is just goofing off, but I'm loving talking to all you people, and you guys make it fun. Let's see. Then he met Alicia. Actually, he met Alicia by only a year or so into it, like issue. I want to say it was 12 or something like that. So he met Alicia very early on. Actually, Phantom Son. Yeah. That's for sure. Ben Grimm, man, is my favorite for a lot of reasons. Thank you, Dave, cousin. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah. I mean, look, the Stan Lee started going to college campuses and giving, because college kids were becoming huge fans of Marvel Comics, the older readers, and Marvel started making this kind of it started Marvel and DC were rivals naturally. Although a lot of people don't know, when Marvel first started printing FF and some of the other early Silver Age comics after they were changing from Atlas to Marvel, the company that owned DC, National Periodical Publications, that owned DC, also owned the magazine distributor that Marvel had to use, and therefore they were only allowed to print something like 8 books at a time for a while there, until Marvel became more successful. So DC was actually controlling Marvel's distribution output and how many titles they can do. And anyway, but Marvel had, didn't like it very much. And they, Stan and all those guys would always take swipes at Marvel. Hey, Toxic Man Flu, good to see you, my friend. Welcome, sir. DC would always take strikes at Marvel back then. And I think for a while, the DC letters pages would call the DC readers the, quote, the bubblegum brigade. And I remember sometime back in the early 70s, when I went to junior high, I brought a book that I got at school. I brought a book to school, or I think I borrowed a book from a friend of mine. It was a paperback. I'll never forget it. It had a great Neil Adams cover called Secret Origins of Superheroes. It was a DC Secret Origins of Superheroes. And you know what? I got made fun of for liking DC. And I said, I didn't get it. I said, really? I love Marvel too. But no, I got made. Marvel's way better. I said, I love them both. I mean, look, I grew up loving Batman and Superman. Batman even before I fell in love with the Fantastic Four, and then Superman right around the same time. But yeah, that was my first experience with the which is better argument. Was even way back then, like early. I think it was junior high or something. So I don't know. I don't get the rivalry, and as far as the differences between the characters, I don't know. But I will tell you, because it's not really that much difference. Remember, the most DC heroes were millionaires who had almost no show job. Well, let's see. DC heroes that were millionaires would really be Batman. Ollie Queen was for a while. Remember, he lost his money. But Superman was no millionaire. There were a couple others. Yeah, but Marvel had Tony Stark, and what was it Kyle Richmond or whatever. I think was it so I don't know. And of course, Reed Richards got rich at some point. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying. There have definitely some other DC heroes that are millionaires, just not coming to my top of my head at the moment. Well, again, Clark Kent was not rich, so yeah. That's right. Kyle Richmond he was a millionaire for a while, got bored and became Nighthawk. I love Nighthawk, by the way. I don't know if he went broke either, but So yeah, both Marvel and DC have a super rich, superhero or two. So again, there weren't that many differences. I mean, if you want to count capes, there were more caped DC heroes than Marvel. That's for sure. That's for sure. But in terms of tone, the tone varied in terms of the characterization and the stories. And what sometimes if you were to go and do a complex analysis, what's darker, Marvel or DC, it would go back and forth. So anyway, my whole point of that is there's not as big a difference between the Marvel heroes as a whole and the DC heroes as a whole. Not that big of a difference. Depends on who's writing them. And dark stuff's been done with both of them. And again, if that's your bag, hey, that's fine. Again, I'm not innocent of that. Look, when I was in my, what was it? Early 20s, a little before my early 20s and into my early 20s in the 80s, not just working in comic shops, but experiencing this renaissance of all these great, far more, quote unquote, mature comic books at the time, starting with the thing that really, really started, okay? It was Marvel that started it in the 60s. And then when things got away from it a little bit, you talk about how DC had all these darker comics in the 80s. Well, Marvel started that too. Because when Frank Miller took over the writing chores, when he was already drawing, but the writing chores on Daredevil, he upped the ante for both the big companies. And of course, Jim Shooter kind of came along later and chased him and a lot of other Marvel's big talent over to DC. So Marvel's, DC's dark stuff in the 80s, they didn't really get super like along the lines of dark until after Frank Miller had done his Daredevil run, and that became a huge hit and people wanted to do it. And of course, Alan Moore's Swamp Thing was a biggie. Alan Moore wants to do Watchmen, and he wants to use the Charlton characters, but Dick Giordano and Paul Levitz didn't want him to mess with those characters. They just gotten a hold of them from Charlton. And so Alan Moore, and I love that he did it. It really worked out for the best that he created his own characters, which did have similarities to the Charlton characters for Watchmen. So you had Swamp Thing, you had Watchmen, and of course, well, actually before that, let me backtrack. You had Miller went from Marvel to DC, and he did Ronin for DC, which was not the biggest of sellers, but it was comic shops only at the time. It was direct sales. Yes. In the 50s and even the 60s, he could blow out the sun. Yeah. So Marvel, as far as the dark age, I don't mean dark in always necessarily a bad way. The darker, grimmer, gritty superheroes, if you really want to track it to its roots, you go with Miller's Daredevil. Because yes, Marvel had the more a grounded type of heroes in persona and things like that with what they introduced. And by the way, some might like the backtrack and say, what about the Golden Age where Batman wore a gun for a while and Superman threw people off the roofs and shit like that? Yeah, it was a short time, and it was, that went away very quickly. It was, and there still wasn't any kind of serious depth. All right, Dave. Thanks for being here, cuz. Thank you. Until, Kirby and Lee, and Ditko and people like that in the 60s. And then, of course, Marvel still had some of the more depthful stuff, when you talk about like the Don McGregor run on Black Panther. But DC had some of theirs too, with their O'Neil Adams Batman, their O'Neil Adams Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Like I say, it went all over the place. They kind of traded a little bit, but Miller's Daredevil ushered in the darker, the grimmer, gritty comics. That's where it started when he took over the writing chores and did it for a couple of years. Great style, great comic, by the way. Then when he went to, it didn't start at DC really until he brought Ronin over there, and then they started Alan, letting Alan Moore do what he wanted on Swamp Thing, and then you had Watchmen, and then Miller's Dark Knight Returns. And he did, then you had Batman Year One, Batman the Killing Joke, Batman the Cult. You had the darker stuff started coming in, but remember, it was Miller's Daredevil, so it was Marvel that even started that stuff. A lot of these people, they said DC just darker, more serious. You're talking about movies, but you're not tracing it back to the source. And none of them are hearing this, and it don't matter. I'm just saying it's kind of it was just kind of something I thought, nobody cares, but I don't know. I do. I guess I'm like Rorschach, because nobody, in the city, the comedian died. Like, a comedian died tonight. Nobody cares. Nobody cares but me. Sorry. Anyway, so what can you do? But hey, a lot of those people are going to have, I don't know, they're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Now, how many of my good friends here tonight? Because I appreciate y'all being here. Are you going to watch the Snyder Cut? And if so, when? You're going to watch it first, second, when it drops? Or just whenever you get around to it? I know my buddy Thoth, he's going to wait for his wife to get home to watch it. But I wonder who's going to watch it. Alex James, that means you're not going to watch it? Or just not watch it immediately? Alex James, probably this weekend for Phantom Outsider. My buddy Maddie's daddy is not going to watch it. Let's see here. Mark D with a C. Watch it when it drops, not staying up before you. Purple will tomorrow evening to review for Friday. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. When I can see it free someplace, yeah. Again, I haven't gotten a clear answer. If you have HBO Max, you can watch it. If you're just a subscriber, or do you have to pay some kind of thing for it? I don't even know. Oh, I hear you, Alex James. Because I actually use a Captain Trek. I do not think I will watch. Okay. Now, I mean, not everybody's interested in it. Oh, this evening. Okay, Purple. Okay, so Purple, you'll be reviewing it Friday morning. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you already have HBO Max, do you have to pay for it, or it comes with the subscription, like everything else on HBO Max? That's what I'm not clear on. But neither here nor there. So, okay, well, there you go. So a lot of people watching it that way. Then, and it's not. I don't know if it's playing at very many theaters. Yeah. Well, anyway, I was just curious how many of you are going to actually watch it. I'll watch it. There's the thing: no matter how much I bitch about anything, when it's superhero oriented, even if I think it's gonna, even if I'm going, oh God, I hate these guys who are making it, or whatever it is, I'll sit through any damn thing, even 4 hours. Because look, when you do that, hey, you can't criticize it if you don't have the info, and if you're not interested in reviewing it or criticizing it, then yeah, and you don't want to waste it, and it doesn't interest you, don't watch it, sure. But I believe if I'm going to talk about something, I want the info. I want to watch it. Look, I'm going to get accused of being unfair to it. That's okay. I don't give a crap. I'm going to be as fair as I can, but I'm going to admit my biases up front because I don't like the take on it. But I'm interested because they're going to incorporate. Yeah, the dark side. Yeah, we'll see. I would like to see them do dark side well. Okay, it's included with HBO Max. That's what I was curious. Thank you. Oh yeah, and you're gonna okay. Well, I'll definitely try to be up for that review, Purple. I'm interested in seeing what you all think about it. Well, it's got to be better than Fan 4 Stick. Are you sure? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. But I am looking forward to seeing what the Valkyries say as well. That's the 4 hours of douche covering before my body rejected it completely. So I will give some to this. Well, if you could sit through any of STD, you get whether you like Snyder stuff or not or whatever, you can sit through that. I guess it can't hurt you. Yeah, I have. I don't pay for HBO Max. I admit it, but we have the codes of a fellow family member, and I watch Babylon 5 Remastered on there. So yeah, I watch it, Maddie's daddy. Like I said, I'll sit through anything. I got to review it. I mean, not so much review it, but I want to have the info and to know what happens in it. And by the way, I want to be fair to it. If there's anything in there to like, I'm going to say so. I can't honestly, truly tell you anything I like in Man of Steel at all. Except, I like the Hans Zimmer music. It's good. I mean, it's not John Williams or anything, but it's good. And in BVS, I can't name anything I liked. I think when Wonder Woman first pops up for a second, I was like, that's kind of okay. And when they start teaming up a little bit, I was like, all right, they're finally. But I pretty much, I hate the movie, but I hate a lot of the movie. I hate the whole damn movie, but I can't name anything that I like in any of those two movies. And Justice League, of course, is a silly, dopey joke where the characterization, is at least closer to, and a lot of people who hate Justice League don't like to hear this. The characterization is lightened up. Yeah, they get quippy in there, but superheroes do have sense of humor. Real ones do. Because that's more relatable than somebody who's just mopey crap all the time. As long as you're not overly ridiculously Joss Whedon-y quippy, that a hero a person, even in the darkest of circumstances, still can sometimes have a bit of a sense of humor about things. And sometimes we deal with really dark situations with a joke sometimes. No. Should there be a joke every 5 seconds? No. And I get annoyed with that too with some of the Whedon crap. And I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I loved Angel. Well, especially Buffy. And I loved Firefly. I loved his first couple of Avengers movies, so. But you can go too far with it, and Justice League is a shitty movie for a lot of reasons. But there were a couple of moments here and there where the characters sort of acted like superheroes and not just Debbie Downers the whole damn time. It's a garbage movie, though. I mean, look, and I wouldn't, and that's why, look, even though you say, well, if you hate the Snyderverse so much, why do you think it's fine that he gets to make his cut? Because he started the thing. They're the ones who put him there, and he got screwed over. Horrible things happened to him. He deserves to get to make it. And I never opposed him getting to make it. It wasn't something I was excited about either. Absolutely thought he got a chance to make it. He got to. And people who were into that and wanting it, fans, just because I don't want something doesn't mean I can't relate to people getting something that they really want and appreciate it and can, congratulate them on that. I do congratulate them on it. Let's see. My toxic nature allows me to watch more of their woke crap physically. You're talking about STD. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it took STD. I tried with. I mean, look, I'm the dummy who sat through all of P Hard, Star Trek P Hard. So I'm not look, and I'm not knocking anybody. Anything. I will never criticize anyone for watching anything because I was dumb enough to sit through Star Trek P Hard. So I can't make fun of anybody, buddy. I absorbed it like a minuscule piece of work of what garbage it was. Cut spot. I hear you, buddy. Explore the multiverse. Good to see you, my friend. Wow. 70K. That's right. Not bad for a bunch of toxic, evil, horrible fans, right? That is absolutely wonderful, folks. The Zack Snyder, I guess the stream's still going on Uche's channel. The Zack Snyder uh, benefit for suicide prevention is over 70,000 now raised tonight on this stream that they're doing over there. That is fantastic. Way to go, Uche, and all that panel and all those wonderful people, and Zack Snyder and everyone doing that for a wonderful cause. That's fantastic. Yeah, toxic fans, sure. That's, of course, what they get called by idiots. But they're good people who want to help people, and they're just down-to-earth people who, and yes, they're fans. We love what we love as fans. Dave Bob, my good friend, great to see you, sir. And I could bitch about a movie all day long, but I'll tell you what, I absolutely respect what they're doing over there. And my like or dislike for a movie means nothing compared to the lives of people, at risk and things like that, and the horrible thing that happened to Zack Snyder's daughter, I believe stepdaughter it was. And it's heartbreaking. As a father, I can't even imagine what he went through and what his family went through. And this is just a fantastic cause, and over 70K. They'll do even more than that, probably, Purple, when the time it's all said and done. And that is fantastic. How a jail movie would be if the writers and directors of Winter Soldier. Well, the Russo brothers, I loved Winter Soldier. I had a lot of issues with Civil War, but it wasn't their fault. That was not really the correct story, in my opinion, that should have been used. I really loved Infinity War, but it was kind of a movie without an ending, and we know why. And I thought they really dropped the ball with Endgame, with some good stuff in it, but with a lot of mistakes. Nevertheless, it's still a pretty good track record, so they could conceivably it'll never happen because Jar Jar Abrams is in charge now. But sure, they could make a good Justice League movie. Of course, they're capable of it. They'll never get a chance. But they are capable of it. So, 71, Captain Trek, thank you. Very good, sir. That's fantastic. And Chris Persia says, Purple Valkyrie Toxics fans, that Snyder had to immediately announce he was not affiliated with upon arriving, leaving Jeremy scrambling to address Zach's comments after the Cherry stream ends. What happened? What happened? Oh my. I don't know. That's if I'm reading that right, Chris, I don't that's not a good situation. I mean, that's not a good thing. You know what? Right now I'll run past it. The charity is fantastic. And it took me a while to figure out how to donate Toxic, because I was in there and I was looking for and one link I kept hitting because I didn't understand you got to go to the top of the chat. I kept hitting this link because I'm an idiot. The one link, and it kept bringing me just to a website. But if you go to the top of the chat, that blue thing at the top of it, that's how you can donate. If anyone needs to know, and you're not all idiots like me, so you probably figure it out. But I was like, I don't understand. Where's the link for this? So, but anyway, everyone's figuring out fine if they got over 71. Jeremy had to scramble. Wow. Yeah. Matt, I hear you, Manny Zaddy. It's just awful. We'll have to wait for more details on that situation, Purple and Chris, but it's a bit alarming, but this is the cause that is bigger than everything else. So whatever happened, I hope it doesn't taint. Because look, this is all bigger than my stupid fat ass. Yeah, I don't like those movies. And yeah, did I care if they did a cut one way or the other? No, but I also thought he should have been able to do his cut. So if people want it, a lot of people wanted it. They campaigned, they fought for it to happen, and they made it happen. And good for them. They got what they want. And so this is a big special time for them. I'm not that they care what I say anyway. Well, they don't even know me, but I'm just saying I wouldn't piss on their parade either way. And they're having their big night, and I think it's wonderful. A lot of people. The ones who were nice, yeah, they got some that were never nice to me. And I had a lot of issues with a lot of them, but that is not all of them. And I'm not going to paint with a broad brush like something like SJWs do and say they're all horrible because a lot of them wished me to die in a fire and all this kind of crap. What do I care? Over the years and made videos about trashing me and stuff. I don't care. Those are isolated, and that's what you've got to learn when people are being, I hate the word, but toxic or what the hell ever. It's individualism, and it's a few idiots a lot of the times. It's never all of any group. That's the way they treat things. The SJWs and Hollywood idiots. If someone is, quote, if one or two people act like dickheads, they call everyone else in a movement toxic, and that's bullshit. So I'm not doing that. And just because I don't get what I want doesn't mean I'm not happy for a whole bunch of people that do. So there are probably plenty of people who are really nice people that just don't agree with me on that stuff, and they like that version of the DC heroes, and they're getting the movie they want. So good for them. And that's another reason I watch it, because, I want to give it a fair shake, because a lot of people fought for this thing to happen. Some fans got something they wanted. I'm not sure it's going to be a big win for any other fandom or not, because usually fandoms don't do very well these days. This is, the Sonic fandom did, and this one did. And, we'll see. But, I congratulate them. It doesn't have to be what I want. It's not always about what I want, because, again, they don't give a shit what I want. So if I get once in a while something comes out that I like or that I enjoy, then okay. But I know it's not going to happen that often. So, look, just because I'm just not going to, again, I get aggravated with it sometimes. I go, oh, God, all this stuff with the Snyder Cut and all that stuff. Oh, God. But you know what? Bottom line is, it made a lot of people happy. Good. We got to see beyond ourselves sometimes. And it did. And, yeah. Doesn't mean I'm going to be nice. By the way, the movie will not be above criticism for me, just because of the wonderful charity going on. That's a side issue. It will not be above criticism. Zach politely delineated himself from what the hit pieces have called a racist channel. Those hit pieces. Oh my God, those horrible hit pieces. With them getting so much in donations. Oh yeah, Jeremy still wants people to give generously. Yeah, look. Again, and that's right. I don't know Jeremy personally, but I admire him, and he's right. No matter what happened, and even if whatever Zach may have done or whatever, if Zach, whatever he did, if he did something wrong, and I don't know him. They say he's a nice guy. The charity is what matters here. Don't be those people, and don't be vindictive if a couple of jackasses, because I know about those hit pieces he's talking about. So those horrible hit pieces calling some of the really wonderful people with some wonderful channels horrible things, toxic and alt-right and, Yahtzees and all these bigots and all this kind of bullshit. That's a bunch of garbage. Even some of the reviews coming down from the Snyder Cut, some of the reviews that I think Gary was talking about, some and some others, are reviews by shitticks who just can't, critique the movie. They've got to attack the fan movement. Some of them are saying the movie's okay. They like the movie, but they have to take swipes at it and Snyder and the movement because they're such a bunch of jackasses. Well, absolutely, Purple. Look, and hey, that's all you can do. And yeah, it's not above criticism. Nothing should be. But these jackass critics, some of them that I've heard about, I think Gary was talking about it, Purple, and a few others, where they can't just say, it's good or it's bad. I liked it or I didn't like it. They got to bring these asinine, and I use the term loosely, I guess, politics into it. And they've got to take swipes at the movement that got the thing made. And then after that, and after taking a few artistic swipes at it, they'll say, they'll say some positive things about it. So look, if you've got to, look, shitticks, that's what I call critics. If you like it, just say so. If you don't like it, just say so. It's fine either way. Trash it all you want. Trash the movie, that is. Don't trash the fans. That's the job of other fans. And I'm kidding, but other fans busting each other's chops or picking on each other, whatever. They can pick on, we can be mean to each other sometimes and we shouldn't. So, just saying, critics, leave the goddamn fans alone. They got the thing made. And just don't even. Why would you mention that in your review? Other than just sort of basically, at the outset say this is something that, of course, is a film that came out in 2017. Give the story about why it changed hands to a different director and got cut up, and then explain that the fan movement fought, to get it made. Great, that's all good and well, but why do you have to take a shot at the fans who got it made? And they did. They insult the fans who got this thing rolling last year. This cut, which is a bunch of crap. It's one thing for fans to take shots at each other, but you shitheads don't know what you're talking about. You shitticks and stuff like that. Absolutely, Phantom Outsider. That's all anyone asks. Yeah, well, exactly. Don't understand how people are called, racist alt-right for wanting to see a director's cut. Can we disagree on, can't we disagree on whether or not we like a movie? That's what I used to think we could do. Remember those days? Remember those days when you could just have arguments and you didn't always agree, and even if you had a heated argument, you didn't hate each. Remember when you could actually think somebody's a jackass without thinking they're a Yahtzee? Remember that? Hell, just do you remember that? When you could think, he's a prick. Yeah, he's a jack-off. I don't like him. But you didn't want to cancel them from the human race. And you didn't want to ruin them or destroy them. You didn't want to throw their life in the garbage. You didn't want to end their livelihood and shit if you thought somebody was an a-hole. Just kind of, maybe you just didn't hang out with them. Maybe that was fine. Maybe you called him an a-hole, maybe. Nobody likes everybody. Nobody likes, plenty of us have people that don't like us. But all of a sudden now it's not enough. If you think somebody is a jerk off, you got to cancel them and destroy them. And like you said, Mark D with the C, couldn't we just not like a movie and not be a monster for it? And this wasn't even a case of not liking a movie. These people didn't like what was done to a movie that they felt that Whedon and the studio did to the movie that they were expecting, that they wanted, that I believe Zach directed 70 some odd % of it before. I don't know what the percentage is. Somebody who's more closer to that could tell me. Thank you, Captain Trek, up to 73K. That's fantastic. So why can't we just, they just didn't like what was done to something that they thought, that they had been waited for, and they rallied to have it done. I mean, they got this thing, they made it happen. I like this, didn't like that. Yeah, I like this, I didn't like that. This could have been better, didn't like that. Take care. I don't like those toxic people. Yeah, well, this is, yep. Not just this word toxic is really wearing thin with me, except for Toxic Man Flu, of course. Don't you ever change that name. But except for you, man. I even have people who do not like it. Do not like me, believe it or not. Now, Eric K, now come on, don't be ridiculous. Dude, if there's anybody out there that doesn't like Eric K, you deserve to be canceled. I remember the day. Yeah, I remember the days when I could argue whether a movie was good or bad with my friends based on the merits of the film alone. Well, those were the days. And some have said some things like, at least Snyder's movies aren't filled with identity politics. And that's, I guess that's pretty much true. And so I'm sure Justice League probably won't be either. And that doesn't, excuse it on an artistic front either. If it doesn't have that, that's great. That doesn't make it a good movie either. It might be good, but let it be good because it's good, not because it just. And we got to I hope we don't get there completely where we watch something now and go, hell. So what'd you think of it? Did you enjoy it? Well, at least it wasn't woke. I didn't ask you that. Did you enjoy it? Did you find it interesting? Was it well done? Well, it wasn't woke. Look, and I understand it's terrible that we have to see that woke crap. I hate it. And it does permeate. But we do have to make sure we don't go in with at least it wasn't woke. No. that I get it, and it can ruin a film. It's ruined movie and TV for me, the woke crap. If it's not there because of the times, sure, go first. Well, first of all, it wasn't woke. Okay, but did you like? And second of all, but I gotta say, it didn't think it was all that good though. That's fine. Or you thought it was fantastic and it wasn't woke. A bonus. Well, if you like if you like toxic masculinity, I can't even say masculinity. Look how masculine I am. Purple, you're in the right place. Oh shit. But hey, man, I tell you what. It's a big night for a lot of people, so that's good. And again, I'm glad they got what they wanted. And I don't think I'll review it though. You know what, everyone? I'll mention it. At least not on this show. I'm not gonna. And by the way, I might even watch that stupid. Was it Falcon and Winter Soldier? At some point, I guess isn't that dropping? And I'm not gonna do the thing like I did with WandaVision and review that crap either. Super HGJ, I've not seen you here before. Thank you for popping in. You're going okay, everyone. Please, I don't know which channel it is, my friend, but I welcome you. And anyone who, if you're familiar with that channel, if not, seek it out and subscribe and support it. I appreciate you being here. Super HJ, and he will be, or his channel will be reviewing. We'll be reviewing it. And many will be reviewing it. Of course, again, like as we've previously seen, the wonderful rise of the Valkyries with Purple Valkyrie, their channel. The Valkyries will be reviewing it Friday, I believe she said. Okay, put it out on Twitter. Thank you, Explorer of the Multiverse. I'll take a look at that if I can find it. I'll see if I can find what they said. Let's see here. Hey, Parrot Head, said something to me. I got to try to find that so I can see what Snyder said so we can know about it. But yeah, but I decided I'm not going to review it myself, like I did with WandaVision. Monday night, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to do comics. The Deathstroke. I don't know who the Deathstroke actors on there on Uche's channel. I guess you mean probably Eric. Okay, that's cool. I don't know. I know Deathstroke was in the end credits of BBS or whatever. I don't know who that actor is, but that's cool. Very good of him. Very good of him to be part of this great charity. So I don't. Yeah, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm not going to review any shows anymore. And there's no point. Nobody wants to hear my stupid opinions on the Snyder Cut or anything else. But I will admit it. In fact, I'll probably tomorrow with the Global Geek Gang at 1, I'll probably have watched it by then. Oh, Super HD, thank you for popping in, sir. It's nice to meet you. I will probably have watched it by then, and maybe I'll talk with the lads about it. I forgot about that. But other than that, I'm not going to do a review. I'll give my thoughts on it and let those guys go off about it. But I think I appreciate that, Eric. I just forgot about the Global Geek Show tomorrow at 1, so I will probably do it on that with the Geek Squad because they're all really hyped up about this. So they'll all be bitching at me if I don't like it. And you'll get to hear them all bust my chops over it. Let's see here. It's just a video saying that they will address it. Oh, it sounds like Zach said, I'm not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers. Stop the hate. If he said that, but look, you know something? That's a damn shame if he did. And look, I've had my differences with him. I'm not personally, I don't know him personally, but I don't think, back when the Watchmen movie was on a year before it came out, he kept assuring us he was going to get the ending right, and he didn't. And he kind of misled us on that. And he's kind of been snippy to people who don't like it, to fans that don't like his stuff. But, this cause is bigger than that. So that's a damn shame. That's disappointing if he did that there. And I believe you, Explorer. So that's a shame. Rod Thunderheart. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. But yes, tomorrow on the Global Geek Gang, I just forgot all about that, Eric. But yes, tomorrow on there I will be That's a good point, Phantom Outsider. I'll be there with the gang, and they'll probably be all over my ass and making fun of the old man if I don't like it. But again, you know what? But if I do like it, I'll probably lie to them for a while and hate it. Say I hate it. And if I don't like it, I'm going to lie to them and say I like it. So no one will know one way or the other. I'm kidding. Just kidding. They're my buds. Oh, and by the way, our buddy Jed, I know he's over there at that stream. Last night, he and my buddy Ash, who did their pop culture activists, they had both Uche and Ryan Cannell from Geeks and Gamers on their channel last night, streamed with them. And again, it was a last minute thing. I was wrenching for Paulie, but I got to go see a little bit of theirs, and that was really cool. Again, he's a brand new channel. He doesn't have a lot of subs yet. He's trying to make it. And by the way, there's a link to his description and below. Jed did, if you want to see that stream. It's Jed, this channel down there, and that was really cool. Those guys were very nice. Both Ryan and Uche were very nice to go on his channel. I forgot that earlier to mention that earlier. So good on them. Yeah, what a bunch of horrible, toxic fans they are. And all these people, they're so mean and horrible. Phantom Outsider, I can't say it because it's too embarrassing to say how old I am, but somewhere between older than dirt and older than the universe. I'm the first one. I was born before all the other races. I was created by the universe itself. Oh, sorry, that was Lorian from Babylon 5. Never mind. Very old, bro. Oh, man. Toxic Man Flu's the best. Dude, now I know why Raquel loves you so much, man. You're hilarious, brother. Oh, shit. Yeah, so anyway, I tell you what, that is, again, a great, but... Okay. You died for Lorian, yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So, have you been to Zaha Doom is my question. I can't do Kosh, but I'm going to try anyway. If you go to Zaha Doom, you will die. You probably didn't even hear that. Yeah. Hey, Project Story Time. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in. Just stopping by. Gotcha. Thank you. That's right. Rocks never wrinkle. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a good one. So when God said, let there be light, Clobberin time, flip the switch. Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what, folks. What else we got going on here tonight? Not much. I think I'm pretty much talked out. I'm had you have all been just fantastic here tonight. I got a few other things probably going on. Oh well. By the way, okay, that's it. You forced my hand. These old jokes about me are coming from a guy that is technically is older, not technically is older than me, Maddie's daddy. Just saying, bud. You're older than me, brother. No, you don't die in Zaha Doom. It's just really boring. Shadows are oversized bugs. That's for sure. I like that one. Social Security is number one. All the old jokes coming from people who at least one guy I know is older than me. If I caused the Big Bang, I would have been. Never mind. Yeah. Well, what can you do? So anyway, by the way, oh my God, that's a good one. So the blood type is gamma. Well, it's gamma irradiated. Now, what would happen if the thing were a gamma irradiated? Would it be the thing Hulk? I don't know. How about in tribute to the great Mark C, we show his favorite artist. There you go. Just for the fun of it. Thulk. Apollome's minion is here. The Hulk's now that's just nasty there. Tiny toxic man flew a nookie count on you, brother. Yeah. His favorite artist, John Byrne. I just love this art. This is my Byrne at his best. Yes, it's crowded, isn't it? Whoa, there we go. Everyone puts an M. I need to put an M too. M indeed. Yeah. By the way, remember those contests we've been having, everyone? Well, this picture here, anyone who could name every character on this picture here, if you can name every character on this picture here, you might win $1 million. You might win $1 million. Now, again, if you read the fine print on that contest, over 75K. Well, thank you, Captain Trek. Appreciate it, man. If you can, you might win $1 million. I want to repeat that. That is the fine print, because you might. I mean, look, I don't know what everything goes on in your life. You could, for example, name all these characters, then next day you might buy a lottery ticket or something like that, and you might win $1 million. That's all I'm saying. So, and see, let me take a look, make sure I can. Oh, yeah, I can easily. In honor of Mark C, should I name them all? But that would bore the hell out of everybody. Never mind. I'll just let you all just figure it out. But that's great. Well, let's see here. Well, I did purchase a lotto ticket, so I might win 10. I purchased 2 of them today, and the lottos are over. Each jackpot's over 100 million. So if I win the big one over 100 million, Purple, do you promise to fly over and go to a con with us over, meet everybody? I'll buy. Hell, I'll even buy the con. Purple, you gotta fly over and hang out with us at the con or something when that sort of thing is allowed. Yeah. So. Actually, that's Man Thing. Swamp Thing's DC, my friend. Oh, well, dude. Hey, Maddie's daddy, dude. You know, if I won that thing, of course, I'd probably accidentally get hit by a bus 5 minutes later. But if I did, there you go. If I did, I would be the crappiest, ridiculously rich person of all time, because I want to give it to everybody. I'd be like, oh, let me just. My financial advisors. That's Ted Salas. Very good. Yeah. My financial advisor would be saying, like, you can't just be giving money to people. Why not? It's mine, isn't it? Did I win the lottery? Oh, yeah, but you can't do that. There's certain legalities. So I just can't throw around money all I want when I win the lottery? What the hell? I hear you, dude. Well, you can retire too, bro. I'm pretty much retired now anyway. Well, but not on purpose, or at least temporarily. Let's see here. 75,650 is the total given so far. Thank you, Captain Trek. That's fantastic. That is really great. Wow. Oh, cool. I'll probably Minion make stuff. Oh yeah, look, Chris Persia, dude. When I win that lottery and have that big con, dude, this is not an option. You have to be there. Oh Jesus! Wait, where? Yeah, that's a good question. TMF. Where the hell is? Let's see if I can find Snowflake and Safe Space on this picture. Oh, there they are. Right, not there. Now, see, Phantom Outsider, I agree with you that Doc Savage, Frankenstein's Monster, and Omega would be the toughest ones to pick here. Let me see if there's one I think would be tougher. You think Damian Hellstrom might be also sort of tough for some people? But I think you're right. At this picture, Frankenstein Monster, because how many people knew Marvel had a Frankenstein comic? Boy, those Mike Plug issues were fantastic, by the way. And then they had, of course, and the Omega the Unknown. Who remembers that? But you and me. I'm sure Mitchum remembers. And there's Jack Russell, right? Purple, and I've talked about that actually. And you're right, Doc Savage. A lot of people don't know that they don't recognize Doc Savage or probably don't realize Doc Savage was Marvel had the Doc Savage license comic for a while. So I'm gonna have to throw in with you on that one. Those three would probably be the toughest for most people to get. I saw that, but you put Diamond, it's Damian Hellstrom. So I would say, sir, Phantom Outsider, that you are quite correct. Those would be the most obscure character. Not well, Doc Savage is hardly obscure, but a lot of people don't think of him as Marvel either. Yes, you were correct. That is Kazar. I used to say Kazar. Then some people say it's Kazar. I don't know what it is, Kazar. I know the Steve busts my chops for not getting Shang-Chi right. Oh yeah. So yeah, that those will be the toughest one. Daniel Kevin Smith's ass. Yeah, I said it. What the hell? Yeah. So yeah, it looks like bad. Yep, the X-Men. Yep, the other all pretty much easy for us weirdos, but yeah. Well, that comic was called The Monster of Frankenstein originally. Then it was called Frankenstein's Monster. But the original title was Monster of Frankenstein for a few issues. Got some beautiful issues too, by Mike Plug. God, it was great stuff. Well, now that's a different kettle of fish there, Rod Thunderheart, as far as which characters are left off. The original Ghost Rider is definitely not on there. The Western one, in other words. But you got Johnny Blaze, man. And again, this is indicative of late 70s, early 80s Marvel. Because look how big Spidey is. He was the biggest thing going. Wolverine's just a little bitty face down on the right-hand side lower. Cap's not even that prominent. Nova had a title at the time, I think, or it's not too long after that. I love Nova. But yeah, Spidey's bigger than all of them. Because this is sort of is not really based on Marvel Team Up, but he was just the biggest character because some of these characters weren't in Marvel Team Up. Oh, the redhead under Spider-Man, that would be Medusa. Unless you mean the redhead to the left, there's Black Widow to his right, and below him to the left is Medusa. Warlock's not a woman. No, Warlock later he started out as he, and later became Adam Warlock, and then later they actually did resurrect a Warlock called She for a while. Oh, are they really? Explore the universe? Well, you know what? I hope they don't let that taint the charity. It won't affect the charity, but that if he said that, that's just the shame. That's Hollywood for you. I mean, maybe he thinks he's going to get canceled. It's just, wow. You're right, Maddie's daddy. This one is too easy. I'll come up with a tougher one day, and we'll play a word puzzle and let people know. But yeah. But again, in this is before Wolverine blew up to be the big old face of Marvel, you know. But that's we're live talking Snyder, but celebrating. Oh, sorry, I was looking at something else. That is a little disturbing. Explore the multiverse, but I do appreciate you, giving us that update. Well, you know what, Alex James, you know you're Bronze Age Marvel if you picked out Omega, the unknown. Did anyone dispute that, Rod Thunderheart? Yeah, no Havoc. It does. Yeah, no Havoc. I mean, that's obviously true, Rod Thunder. Did anyone dispute that? Yeah, I hear you there, Mando. I watched that last night. I'm really not too big on that show. It's okay so far. It's kind of all right. Yeah, no Black Goliath. You're right. I don't know how they missed him. Maddie's daddy, you got me. I barely read the comic. I just remember it. I didn't buy every comic on the stands back there. Did you read Omega Unknown? Did you read Omega Unknown there, Steve? Because I never really bought the comic. I flipped through it every now and then. It really had kind of crappy art, to be perfectly honest with you. It didn't last very long. That was when Marvel was kind of throwing all kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. I love Monk. Yeah. Yes, Captain Marvel is a dude, sir. That's right. That's why oh, I still got the video. Cool. But that's right. That's why, again, like I said, the comic was called The Monster of Frankenstein, but they did later change it to Frankenstein's Monster or whatever. And that title went on for a little bit, though. That was actually a good comic. Because it was weird. Again, you're in the Marvel universe, sort of, and you're having him, and he was having the monster having these adventures. It's kind of weird, but it was Marvel was doing stuff like that. They had Werewolf by Night. They even had Man Wolf, who didn't really have his own. He was a Marvel Spotlight, and so was, I believe, when Werewolf by Night was in one of the premiere series or whatever. And then you had of course, the great comic Tomb of Dracula by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan. That was a classic. I got you, Alex James. I never back then. There was a finite number of resources for when that comic and many other Marvel ones. Some of the more off-brand Marvel comics, because they were throwing a lot of stuff against the wall with a lot of different titles, and I didn't pick it up either. So, Thank you so much, Purple. I know it's so late over there, my dear. I cannot wait to hear your views on the Snyder Cut and stuff like that. And I would love to talk to you again soon. I hope you will join me soon when you can. We can talk about stuff, and I will look forward to your show on Friday. Everyone, please subscribe to Rise and Shine with the Valkyries, her wonderful channel. And thank you, Perp. Love you. Thank you. I'm not missing him. John Byrne forgot to draw Thunderbird. He didn't put Sunfire either. Looks like, didn't he? No. No Thunderbird, no Sunfire. They were pretty much out of the book by then. So, yeah, what are you going to do? They had, oh, there you go. So what's going on with, is this thing blowing up, this Snyder thing, or they're are they pissed at him now? I mean, did he I was just curious if, again, it doesn't sound good. I did sci-fi comics. Valerian was one of my favorite. Oh yeah, Valerian. Yep, that's been around forever. Then we went straight into yep, Asimov, White, Norton, Phil Kidd. Yeah, well, Valerian, again, that was around forever. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why Silver Surfer isn't on there. Okay, fair enough. A long one? Which one? You mean the stream they're doing over there, Explorer? I know it's going to be a big, long marathon thing, I'm sure. Apollome's Minion, thank you so much, my dear, and I hope you're able to get some rest. Take care. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. You be careful out there. Oh, okay. Say away, Explorer of the Multiverse. I don't know. You always crack me up, TMF. Now, there you go. Yeah, that's almost the fun part of the game, finding people that aren't there, who outsider, like, where's Silver Surfer? Sort of a where's Waldo, in the sense that characters that were left out of there. Oh yeah, the cancel monsters, yeah. Yeah, well, that's pathetic, man. The charity stream actually has 94 dislikes. Who's against suicide? I'll tell you who's against. They're against anything, even a good cause like suicide prevention, if it will fill their agenda and fit their agenda of hatred towards people that think differently from them. They are scum. They can't even leave a charity stream along with their stupid ass dislikes. Fuck those people. They're absolute filth. So before I start, it says start IO. It says, all right. on the charity stream, G&G on the charity stream, but we are not affiliated with them in any way. With light of everything going on and a father of Asian daughters, anything this movie shows. No thunder, that's true. Oh, are they? Jeremy and Gary are doing a stream on that? I'd like to go check that out. I'm almost done here anyway. Yeah, I love it. It is cool. Huh. Hey, all right, TMF. Thanks for popping in here, my friends. Good to see you. Is that all you had there, Explorer? That's cool because I'm about to wrap it up, but I appreciate your info on that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the charity stream is done so well. That's truly great, though. Love it. Damn good cause. And this movie shows Stop the Hate. What hate? Yeah, no Red Wolf on there either. Stop the Hate. Well, huh. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to tell you what, one last time before I wrap it up here, I want to thank everyone who joined us again. Like I said at the outset of the show, everyone who joined us Monday night for our tribute to our dear friend, Mark C. Well, it's, look, I'm not going to, because of the charity, I got a lot of problems with Zack Snyder, to be honest, but he has been sort of immaculated by a lot of people and risen, in my opinion, to sainthood by a lot of people because, lately, just because of the way he got treated badly. There's no question about it. But he's a person, he's a human being, and I respect what he's doing with this, he had went through a horrible thing, but what he's doing through this charity is fantastic, but it doesn't make him perfect. And if he, we should call him out if we disagree with him and praise him when he does something great. Pretty simple stuff, Explorer. So I think what you're saying, it's a shame if he believes that stuff. Alex James, thank you, my brother. But I just want you to finish up just saying that you've all been fantastic. Indeed, and for what you all did for not only me, but Mark's wonderful family who joined us Monday night and was in here last night as well. All hail the great Mark C. We love you, old chum. We still miss you. Thank you all for the M's in the chat. I want to thank, of course, see if I can remember everyone. Maddie's daddy, yo, bro. Thank you. The wonderful Purple Valkyrie who was here but had to leave. Love you, Purple. Lord Thoth had to run out, but I appreciate you, buddy. Alex James, thank you so much. Mark D with a C, my great friend. Thank you, buddy. The amazing, love back at you, my good buddy Eric K and Chris Persia. You guys are fantastic. Love you guys. Hey, found him outsider. Don't be a stranger, buddy. I love what you've been saying in the chat, and man, I enjoy, geeking out about comics. You know your stuff, and you're very cool. I really appreciate seeing you, sir. And Alex James, same with you, man. Always cool talking comics with you. Explorer the Multiverse. Thank you so much for the info and for popping in here, sir. Rod Thunderheart, my good old buddy. Thanks. Thank you so much for being here. Captain Trek, my friend, thank you for being here. Mando Mark, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for popping in. Let's see. Toxic Man Flu was here earlier. Thank you. See if I, you all know I'm senile. I have a garbage memory. Apollonie's Minion was here. I appreciate you, dear. Thank you for being here. I just had a lot of fun. Look, I gotta tell you all, I didn't feel like doing this tonight. I've been bummed out. A lot of bumming out. Not feeling all that great. Just not really feeling like talking. But I knew once I got with you guys, my good friends, I would have a lot of fun. Always love doing it. And you guys always make it great. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be here with the Global Geek Gang. And then Saturday night, the wonderful Raquel Briggs and I will be 4 more episodes of Star Trek, the original series, reviewing all of Star Trek. Real Star Trek, 66 through 05, except no substitutes because they're bad, garbage, filthy trash. And then Monday night, the Clobberin Times Mark C, that's what we're naming it, comic strip Hall of Fame. I will be announcing the first 10 inductees, which I call the Pantheon of 10, in the comic strip creator Hall of Fame. A creator can be an artist or an artist writer or just a writer, just depends. And the first 10 will be inducted, all voted on by me. So that's it. And then, of course, we'll be here all we can. So thanks, everyone. If you're going to watch the Snyder Cut, I'm not going to say enjoy it because I'm not your pappy. I can't tell you what to do. So if you enjoy it, fine. If you don't, fine. Either way, we will mention it. But I'm not going to do a big old review of it or anything. I'll leave that to the people who were. I'll leave. You know what? I'm going to leave that to the people who at least wanted it and were for the big movement and were glad to get it because I support Zach getting to make his movie that he got screwed out of, but it didn't mean much to me either way. And you could try to guess it, Phantom. I'll give everybody a chance to guess it before I announce it. But I'm glad for the people who wanted to see it, and you're going to get it. You're getting it at 2 a.m. and my time. But the people who are interested one way or the other, I'll talk about it tomorrow a little bit, sure. But as far as doing an in-depth review, I won't do that. I'll let people know what I thought about it. That's about it. So thank you all again. Excellent, Alex James. I look forward to seeing you, my good friend. You're all fantastic. It's not easy to say goodbye because you're all a bunch of great folks. And again, kudos to Zack Snyder and his charity, and Uche and Jeremy and Gary and Ryan Cannell and all the other Geeks and Gamers and all the other channels that raised all that money for suicide prevention. Please, if you go over to Uche's channel or whatever, if he's still streaming, if you haven't donated, it's a wonderful cause. If you can, they'll take it. They have low as $5. But you can do whatever you want. You can give whatever you want. It's a wonderful charity, and kudos to all of those guys for doing that, and congrats to those people who got that thing made. All right, everyone, gonna play us out with this great intro outro made by the fantastic Stone Loki, my good friend. Thank you, Loki. Good night, everyone. Clobber on, buddies. Oh, clobber on again.